day. Makes me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, you know we need them. We need strategies, don't we? Strategies for living. Are you ready? You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
I don't know if they're ready.
Ready or not, here we come. Hey, folks, welcome. Welcome into Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillian. She is psychotherapist. Lauren Leon McMillian, PLPC, and we are delighted that you are here with us on Strategies for Living. I've lost track. Who are our life strategists today? Yeah.
You're looking at him. Do you need a mirror?
You mean you and me?
Yeah, that's right. Just us today.
Yeah, it's just us?
Just us.
Well, I mean, that's not unusual.
No.
But I tell you something else that's not unusual, and that is that our life strategist has a book.
Oh.
Yeah, and we do.
Yes, we do.
Brand new.
Hot off the press.
Glad to announce right here that 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life is just out. It's now available on Amazon. Easy to get from Amazon.com. Mm-hmm. We are working on it in a Kindle version. Right now it is available only in printed version.
Yeah, only in softcover right now.
Only in soft. We're working on a hardcover copy.
That's how fresh it is.
That is how fresh it is. But we wanted to go ahead and talk about it now.
Yeah.
Because we'd love feedback. We'd love your feedback. Mm-hmm. And one of the privileges, I mean, we have had the privilege, I've had the privilege of doing this program for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And you for a couple of years.
Yeah. Through listening and then through being part of it.
And, you know, the life strategists that we have talked to, that I've had the privilege of talking to through the years, all have left a real mark. And so some of what we've done is distill some great truths from what we've learned.
Common themes kind of tend to come up along the way through our life strategists, but also through our lives and through our clients and others' lives that we see impacted.
So we're going to dive in today, and we're going to talk about 10 truths that will change your life. That's what we're talking about here today on Strategies for Living. We appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate our sponsors making it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Learning RX, and the Balanced Life Wellness Center, and Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of The Godfather. Alligator Italian sausage, and some pretty good Muffies, too. Back in a moment. 10 truths that will change your life right here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem drab. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian here on Strategies for Living. Have you heard about the new book? It's called 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life. And you can find it at Amazon. Amazon.com is the way to get it. The number 10 truths that will change your life. It is available now at Amazon.com. And as we move further, we'll roll it out hopefully to some different locations. But right now, I mean, who doesn't order from Amazon, right?
Right.
So it's available. You can have it in a day or so. You can have it, order it right now and have it in a day or so.
You might have yours before you have ours. We have ours.
You just might. You just might. You know, Lauren, I cannot underplay. We're using in the title 10 truths that will change your life.
Right.
You know, I could easily say beliefs, 10 beliefs.
Right.
But because
I think it's important that we...
Yeah, what we believe, what any of us believe, really become the life we live.
Well, and it becomes our truth.
Yeah, and I can't overstate the importance of this. I mean, you know, we have our feelings, we have our thinking.
Yes.
Our feelings and thoughts together create our emotions, our energy and motion. So we've got the feelings, thoughts, and emotions that we all are aware of. That drives our behavior.
Yeah.
But I want us all to think about what really kicks off and enhances a lot of the things that trigger us, what enhances the things that we cognize, that we think about.
Well, what's the foundation? What's the blueprint?
Right. And it's what we believe.
And that's the beliefs.
It's the beliefs. Yeah. And many of us, and you hear us talking about this, if you are a regular listener to Strategies for Living, you've heard us talk probably multiple times about the importance of what we believe and how we need to make our beliefs ours. And what do we mean by that? We mean that we all start out very innocent. I mean, we start out almost like if we could imagine a whiteboard, right?
Yeah.
The whiteboard is pretty much clear. It's ready to be written on.
There's some theoretical.
Yeah, there's some things
arguing there, but
there's a little bit of but
for the most part,
for the most part, it's clear,
right?
And it's waiting to be written upon, and it does get written upon by our mothers and fathers, by
the adults around us, the environment, the situations we encounter,
teachers. You know, we might even come, and some people believe and think that we come into the world with some karma. And whether you think about that in terms of genetics, and what we inherit in terms of what we have to deal with,
or what we inherit in terms of our own souls, lifetimes, or life paths.
Right. And so by the time that we are, let's say when we begin to get old enough to think about our thinking, which, I think that you begin to the early process of thinking about your thinking fairly early. 7, 8. Yeah. And that moves forward. But many of us don't examine those basic things that are given to us.
Well, and that are driving the show, running the program in the background.
And that's just it. They do. Yeah. It does. It's that powerful. What we believe there is that powerful. It runs the show.
It's the Jung quote, whatever, until you make the unconscious conscious, it'll drive your life and you'll call it fate. Right. Yeah.
Yep. So what if the life that you've always wanted is on the other side of their beliefs, but we're calling them a few simple truths.
Right.
And we're offering.
And I think this is important in our world today, because I think we see this a lot around us, people arguing about the quote unquote truth, the truth. Yeah. And so I think that's kind of important that we include that in our dialogue, that these are just some truths or beliefs, and that can be interchangeable, and to recognize that my truth may not always be the exact same as your truth, but it's our job as human beings, as individualized experiencing ourselves as individualized human beings to wrestle with what we believe and what we accept as our truth to then create our life.
So if you are going to begin that process, that sometimes arduous process of examining, going back and examining, well, what do I believe about this or that? If you take away something or you question something that maybe has been there for a while, you may need some things to plug in. And I'm biased. I'm absolutely biased, but I believe, I totally believe that the 10 truths that we're presenting here are both timeless and extraordinary,
right?
In terms of being able to almost act like a lighthouse, beaming you home.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to give credit where credit is due. I mentioned at the beginning, we've had the privilege of doing this program, you for a few years, me for 30 plus years. And we've had some incredible life strategists up here on Strategies for Living. Neil Donald Walsh, Gary Zukav, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Raymond Moody. Gosh, I could go on and on. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Kenny Loggins, Don Miguel Ruiz, Donna Eden, Dr. William Glasser, Dr. John Diamond, Dr. Daniel Amen, Joan Burstenko, Dr. Brian Weiss, Dan Millman, Dr. John Gray, Thomas More, so many more too.
So many great minds.
I obviously I tried to acknowledge as many of them at the first of the book as I could, and I know I left a bunch out.
So in other words, these truths we didn't just pull out of our back pocket. They've been distilled and wrestled with within ourselves, but also, gifted from some of these great minds.
Right, absolutely. And we've tried to pull them together. And here's the deal. We know the world that we all live in, right?
Yes.
This world moves at such a rapid pace, and it's so easy to lose sight of the fundamental truths that really do shape our lives, can shape our lives. Again, it's total freedom. These truths are offered to you, to all of us. You decide. Each one of us have to decide,
right? Are
they for me or not?
Yeah. What would my life look like if I took this on? And am I willing to, take that on?
Right.
Is it important in my life to take it on?
But if I'm going to begin to do the work of looking at and examining what's there, and as I mentioned earlier, sometimes that can be arduous work.
It is. It's a life's work.
But if you do, inevitably we are going to find beliefs that have been written there that are no longer serving us,
right?
And that we need to replace. But what do you replace them with? And I would like to offer 10 truths that can change your life as a possibility.
Yes.
I think over these 10 truths, you will find one or more that can easily plug in to beliefs that you may find after examination that, hey, I need to alter that.
Well, and I
need to replace that.
I think the staying power of these truths too, I believe, is that once you start actually applying just one of these, what starts to happen is you recognize the rift, the rubbing, where if I'm practicing this new truth, what other beliefs are in me that are counter to this new truth, and what do I want to do with that? How can I wrestle with that and allow that to be released and grieved through?
Yeah.
So it might stir up some old beliefs that you didn't even know existed, and that's the power. That's the staying power.
I think that's a good point.
These truths,
and I really think that I think you're onto something here, Lauren. If you start with any of these that may resonate with you. Number one is we are creators. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
But let's just say you start with that one. I think quite naturally, whatever truth you decide, that's truth number one. But you might decide to start on truth number 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Whichever one you might pick to start with. I think you're going to get to the others.
Yeah, they'll come up.
They're going to come up because I think there's a connection between all of these.
Absolutely.
There's a synergy, if you will. Anybody that listens to the show for any period of time know that I love the word synergy. Mm-hmm. And that's a Jungian word, I think. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Right. Well, and it's all about integration as well. And that's why I love the number 10, right? Because numerologically, it represents 1 and 0, which is the all and the nothing.
Yeah.
The everything and the nothing.
Yeah.
And,
the whole, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
That emerges from nothing.
10 Truths That Will Change Your Life is available, and you can order it right now. As we speak, you can order it from Amazon.com. You can also go to our website, strategiesforliving.com, or strategiesforlivingradio.com. Either one will get you there. And you'll see where you can link and order the book directly from there and get more information about Strategies for Living. And hope you will get the book, 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life. We're talking about that book. We happen to have its authors as our life strategist today.
On hand today.
Yeah, there you go. Right here on Strategies for Living. More to come. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hey, let's talk about the Robinson Film Center. I say it a lot. There's no place like the Robinson.
Absolutely, there is not.
617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. You've got so much. You got the movies. You got Abby Singer's Bistro on the second floor of RFC, open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday.
Newly remodeled.
Absolutely. Great menu. RobinsonFilmCenter.org is the way you check it all out. You can go to RobinsonFilmCenter.org at any time and find out what movies are showing. Here's the deal. You want to join the crowd, join the fun, become a member. When you become a member, you become a star. You get discounts on movies, you get concession upgrades, you get bistro deals. RFC, 617 Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. I'll say it again. There's no place like the Robinson.
There is not, and I'm glad we have one right here.
Absolutely. The RobinsonFilmCenter.org.
Reading begins not in the classroom, but in your child's brain. I'm Donisa Walker with Learning RX Shreveport. If your child struggles to read, maybe he or she has trouble focusing or comprehending, Learning RX Shreveport offers a science solution to reading problems, working one-on-one with your child, targeting his or her reading skills. Today, call Learning RX Shreveport. Make an appointment to have your child assessed. I know you want to help your child, so does Learning RX Shreveport.
Facing the same old problems day to day makes you want to holler, get away. Looking for the road that'll get me there. Looking for hope and peace to spare. Looking for strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
And welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian. We are talking about 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life today. It is our new book. It's just out. You can find it at Amazon. Easy to get. 10 Truths. It's the number 10. 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life. You can also go to our website, strategiesforliving.com. or strategiesforlivingradio.com.
Either one.
And you can link right there to Amazon and get a copy of the book for your very own, and I hope you will. And we call it a Strategies for Living little book.
Right.
Now, it's very, very important. It was very, very important to us that, and hopefully, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, there's more books coming.
Yes, we've already got them in the plans.
In the plans, and there's a process to this.
There is
we'll
a process.
We'll talk about that. But we call them. It was very important to us to do to have enough content to be meaty and meaningful.
Yeah.
But it was also important to us not to have this 400-page...
To cater to the attention span of where we are in the world.
So these 10 truths, each one is presented in a handful of pages. All 10 truths together. The book is under 150 pages.
Right.
And yes, Lauren and my name is on the book as its authors. But let me tell you something. You are an author. The way we've written the book, you will be an author too.
Right.
What do I mean by that? Well, in each one of the truths, and the truths, as we mentioned, are,
they're nothing new.
They're nothing new. You will be very comfortable with many of them. We've already mentioned,
especially if you listen to the show.
Yes, if you're a regular listener, you've heard some of these. They may not be exactly in the words that we're presenting them in the 10 truths, but we've already said the first truth is we are creators. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But some of the other truths are things like self-worth is an inside job. Forgiveness is vital is another one of the truths. Another truth is the unexamined life gives our life away.
Right.
So those are the kind of things that you're going to read about and think about here. But you're saying I know I can hear you. You and Lauren wrote the book. How am I an author then? Well, thanks to Lauren.
Yes.
You can take each one of these 10 truths. You can take and you will take them and make them yours through the exercises that are available to you in the book.
That was something I think that was very important, at least from my perspective going in. Because yes, the chapters are short, but they are meaty and they have some really deep, for everyday people, it's really some deep content that you don't often consider on a daily basis.
Right.
And so really you could fly through the book.
You could. But I hope you won't.
Yeah. Maybe you do that the first time, just read all of them. Whatever your process looks like, there's no judgment. But I did want to include some exercises and some journal prompts at the end and throughout each chapter rather, so that you could really, really make them, work to wrestle with these truths and to figure out, does this truth align with who I am and who I want to be? And, how can I make this a part of my life if I so choose to?
Right.
So it really makes it, hopefully, not just a hands-on, but a full embodiment process, because I think that's a huge part of our world. And even in the therapy world, I feel that we can get lost in talk therapy. It's all very much a mental, intellectual process.
Right.
And we can talk all day about spirituality and what that means in our life. But if we're not embodying that, if we're not putting that into practice
in our lives,
and allowing that energy to flow through, there's a huge disconnect there.
Right. Right.
And that's what we need.
And we want that connect
bridge
for you.
That's the bridge.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So one of the questions that I have, Lauren, is if I'm listening and I'm saying, okay, yay, you guys have finally written a book. Great. I'm going to order it. I'm going to go to Amazon and order it. 10 truths that will change your life. Wait a minute. 10 truths that will change your life. What do you, how? How will these 10 truths, isn't that, aren't you guys getting haughty here? The 10 truths that will change your life. How will these truths change your life?
I think the answer is in the word life itself, because, the way that you and I have come to define it as limitless in formation experience.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so if we take it from that definition, that life is a limitless information experience. All the information that you can get and every experience that you have truly shapes and changes the trajectory of your limitless information experience.
Yes, absolutely.
And so it's not to say that this will change you in a greater or grander way than anything else, but just to acknowledge that everything in your life has that power.
Absolutely. And these 10 truths that we really spent some time going and tugging. Does this one need to be in? Does that one need to be? Which one needs to go here? But when you look at them, and when you look at them as a whole, I think you will see that this is not a passive experience.
No.
We're inviting you into a very active experience. That's what I mean, that you will become a co-author of this book, because the truths here are really meant to be, every single one of them are meant to be lived. They're meant to be tested.
Yeah.
They're meant to be, you use the word integrated. They're meant to be integrated
and
embodied into your daily life. They're not dogmas, so there's no preaching here. They're just offerings. They're certainly not dogmas to be blindly followed, but they're you said this earlier. They're signposts.
Yeah,
they're signposts that point you to a more authentic life, a more fulfilling life, and that's one of the purposes.
Yeah,
yeah. And so we truly, even though our name's on the book, we truly envision for you to be an author too. Deepak Chopra, one of my very favorite authors among many.
Yes.
He said the most creative act that you will ever undertake is the act of creating yourself, which we're doing, whether we know and acknowledge we're doing it.
We are creators, whether we choose to believe that or not,
but
whether we're conscious of it or not.
But if you do become conscious of it, as we're inviting, we are creators. Make that a fundamental belief in your life. Make that a truth for you. That brings up a question. Why didn't we title this 10 Beliefs That Will Change Your Life? What's the difference between a belief and a truth?
Yeah.
And I tussled over this one because at one point I did, have the title 10 Beliefs That'll Change Your Life, because we talk about beliefs a lot, Lauren, you and I.
Right.
And I can't remember whether whether you were the person that's responsible for the truth replacing beliefs. A truth is something that is belief exponential.
It's been repeated so much that it becomes an ingrained part of who you are.
Right.
I mean, I think a lot of people talk about, little t truths. Right.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what we're talking about. Everybody has little t truths because, this might go off on another tangent, but I'm not really a firm believer that there is one sole truth, that we are all fractals witnessing perhaps the truth. And so therefore we can't know the truth until we're all in totality together.
Right.
And so these truths are just guideposts to the truth.
Right.
There, none of us alone on our own can know the capital T truth.
Right. We're in process of trying to get there, and perhaps one day we will get there.
Yeah.
And that may be one of the things that we're doing in this life. It's a great big school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A learning opportunity. But one of the cores of our existence is this idea of creation and being a creator. I mean, if you think about the power that the truth, you are a creator, truly is. I mean, what shapes our lives, what makes us us? It's the choices we make. It's the thoughts we entertain. It's our beliefs, and all of that We get to choose.
Absolutely.
That's creation.
Yeah, it's
right?
about becoming a conscious creator. We are all creators, whether the choice is whether we're unconsciously or consciously creating.
Right.
And that's the choice that we offer here with this truth.
Right.
Is, are you ready? Do you want to step up and become a conscious creator?
You know, I've said this before. You have to see it. When you look at creative, you have to see it right.
Yes.
If you move that C over 1, 2, 3 letters, look at what creative becomes.
Oh.
It becomes reactive.
That's right.
Just move the C. So we have to see it. We have to see it correctly. And once we see it and grasp it, man, that changes our life.
It's incredibly empowering.
It is incredibly empowering and an invitation for all of us to, grasp the importance of being a co-creator
with
the divine.
Itself.
Yep, exactly. We're talking about 10 truths that will change your life. Now available on Amazon. You can order yours today. We'll be back and talk more here on Strategies for Living. Be right back.
From the bayou to your table, we're keeping it alive with flavors from the family passed down to survive. The Godfather's here with a twist in the tail. Alligator Italian sausage, and it sure won't fail. It's the boss of the bayou, a taste you can't refuse. Italian tradition, Cajun infused. Godfather sausage, bold and true. The Padres bringing the bayou to you.
Get the Godfather Alligator Italian Sausage only at Fertitta's Delicatessen, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport. Pick up a muffy while you're there. The Godfather Alligator Italian Sausage. It's a taste you can't refuse. Sold only at Fertitta's, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport. Dealing with stress, pain, feel like you're running out of options? When your life is balanced, wellness is a given. True wellness is holistic. It's about the mind, the body, and the spirit, all in balance. Now, there's a place right here in Shreveport that's all about helping us achieve peak mental, emotional, and physical health. The Balanced Life, 117 Kings Highway, right next door to Strawn's. Come see and feel the difference getting your life in balance can be. Many of your friends and neighbors have already learned the difference less stress and pain mean in their lives. You can book a discovery session right now online, thebalancedlife.us. All you've got to lose is stress, pain, or maybe both. Come see and feel for yourself the real difference balanced wellness makes. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, 117 Kings Highway in Shreveport, next door to Strawn's. Thebalancedlife.us.
Facing the same old problems day to day makes you wanna holler, get away. Looking for the road that'll get me there. Looking for hope and peace to spare. Looking for strategies for living radio.
And welcome back. Welcome back to your daily dose of radio rehab right here on Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian, talking about a brand new book that we have out, 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life. It's available now on Amazon.com. 10 Truths, the number 10. 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life. David McMillian, Lauren Leon McMillian, and you can order your copy, and I hope you will, from Amazon. You can also go to our website, strategiesforliving.com, or strategiesforlivingradio.com. Either one's going to work for you. And you can link, and there's a link there. You can order the book. It still links to Amazon, but you can order the book that way. So the process of writing this book, did you just fall out of bed one day and say, I'm going to write a book? How did this,
You're asking me?
How did we do this? What happened?
We've been threatening this for a very long time, I think. And we're both a little ADD. I think
you're kidding.
We can admit that. So
really?
we've got paragraphs over here, and we've got, a couple chapters here and an outline over here.
Oh, they're all over the place.
And I don't know, it's almost like this book just wanted to come out because I can't even explain how, we managed to actually tie something together, the two of us. If that makes any sense.
Well, it
was like once we set the 10 truths, I think that helped us.
It really did.
To align us.
We had a lot of it written and have had a lot of it written for a while.
Yes.
Pull the things together. But once we got the 10 and knew it was going to be 10 truths, and that's what we had to distill down to. And, I put together pulled from writing that we had over here and over there and pulled it together. We pulled
everything together.
And
then we just passed it back and forth.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. And then it wasn't long after the passing back and forth that, okay, well, this emerged, and what we have in front of us, 10 truths that will change your life, emerged. Got to thank your mom, she's a retired English teacher.
We pulled her out of retirement for a brief moment.
We, once we got the not for resale proof in, we really didn't tell anybody in our family.
Oh.
We didn't. And so your father was dropped by for lunch one day, and it was the same day that the proofs had come in. Mm-hmm. So we sent one home with him.
Right. Well, I don't think he got to read it at all.
No, she snatched it away from him and began to read it. And she
did her English teacher editing
first she
thing.
Called back and she said, I love that. She was really surprised at what we had put together. And I thank her for that. And then I really thank her for, she said, do you mind? Would you be offended if?
Right. ...
And both of us said, absolutely not. Yeah. And she said, I'm not going to
take all the input we can get.
I'm not going to use red ink. I'll use green ink or blue ink. But she made some great changes. So she's one of the copy editor. Of the book, and I hope she'll help us in future endeavors too. Mm-hmm. But it was very much a process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of unfolded over some length of time. It's almost like it needed, it's very much like
it needed to marinate.
Well, it's very much like a pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it needed to be in the womb for 9 months or so.
Yeah.
Or maybe even longer in this case. But it just needed
I think it was longer in this case.
It needed to be processed through both of us, and then along the way, I came up with the idea of the prompts and the exercises, and you came up with the idea for case studies and this and that. And we would add, and we would take a break from it and then come back. And, And
I can't even begin to tell you how many times that something would come to the oddest times, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up and boom, there's something, okay, that needs to go in. Right. And,
it was just a time, there was a time of actually putting a lot of effort in, and then there was that time of being in the womb where we sat with it and allowed things to drop in that needed to be dropped in and passed back and forth before, okay, I think it's ready now.
Yeah.
It's ready to be birthed into the world. And I'm excited that it's here.
I am too. And I'm
and I hope everyone else, finds something from it. And we want your comments,
We definitely do. And my hope, my deepest hope is that this will touch all of our lives. I mean, because we've said this often, Lauren, we sometimes maybe sound like oh, well, we're bringing all of this expertise. We're certainly not coming from a place of seating as experts. We may be passing on.
We're on the journey ourselves.
We're learning as we go. Yeah.
That's the whole thing. If you want to learn something, you teach it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's very much the spirit within which this is offered.
Well, and another piece of it is that in the world today, we need something, I think, some guideposts, quick, hard-hitting guideposts to get us really rooted into who and what we truly are, because we're in for a rough ride. It's already started. And, I'm not saying it's going to be terrible, but I do think there are going to be some
bumpy spots.
Some bumpy chaos going on in the world. And it's going to be very important that we're rooted in our truth, whatever that may be.
And that's the other thing about this. These 10 truths are the 10 truths, and each one is presented briefly and thoughtfully, so that you can do some thinking and soul searching about it. But the other thing is, and I'm just going to pick on the one I've already mentioned, that one of the truths is forgiveness is vital.
Yes.
That's one of the truths. How many times in my life do I need to reread chapter 7?
Right.
Forgiveness is vital.
Very appropriately, chapter 7.
Very appropriately, chapter 7. And it begins with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi: "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong." And, I need to read that over. There are times in my life, that I need to be reminded and reminded about how important forgiveness is in my life on an ongoing basis.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that's another thing about these truths that I think are extremely
they're
important.
multidimensional in that way. You can come back and learn something new each time.
Get a copy of your book now. Go to Amazon or go to strategiesforliving.com or strategiesforlivingradio.com and order 10 truths that will change your life, and let us know what you think. Back in a moment with more strategies. You're going to see the difference. When you go to Azalea Cleaners, you'll hear about it too. Azalea Cleaners has been fine dry cleaning since 1958, plus laundry, alterations and repairs, comforters, wedding gown cleaning and restoration. You'll hear about it from your friends because they'll see it too. They'll notice the Azalea difference. Azalea is convenient. 732 Azalea Drive, 9220 Ellerby Road, and 9227 Mansfield Road. Plus, the front door of your home or business with Azalea's delivery on demand. Just text SETUP to 249-8283, and Azalea will pick up your clothes and deliver them back clean and fresh to you. You can't get closer than that. That's the Azalea difference. You'll notice it right away. Others will too. The Azalea difference. Fine dry cleaning since 1958. Text SETUP to 249-8283 and get the Azalea difference. AzaleaCleaners.com.
Hi, this is Jay Merle for Pintail Roofing. Let's talk about quality. When you hire Pintail to build your roof, here's what you can expect. Quality and quality control are the most important concerns for us at Pintail, and you need to know that Pintail stands tall with swift and professional performance on any warranty call. This is our most important policy. And remember, we're your neighbors. We'll be here for you for the long haul. Our family's lived here for over 100 years, and we aren't going anywhere. On the commercial side of Pintail's business, our fluid-applied roofing solutions can save thousands of dollars over conventional commercial roofing options. Call Pintail at 226-ROOF for a free inspection of your home or commercial building. That's 226-7663. Pintail Roofing. What's the condition of your roof?
Life gets hard along the way. Gotta get through it day by day. We
Oh, yeah, that's where you are. And this is Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian, talking about our brand new book. Thank you. Thank you for hearing and considering 10 Truths That Will Change Your Life. Get it from Amazon.com or simply go to strategiesforliving.com or strategiesforlivingradio.com.
There's all kinds of ways to get to
and
us.
You can order the book directly from our website. It'll link you to Amazon.
Right.
But you can make it easy. What do you want to leave folks with today?
Well, that these truths aren't just words on the page. They're true strategies for living.
Amen.
And they're
well said.
They're lived strategies, right? They've changed our lives. They're not just, here you do these 10 truths and see how they. No, these are things that we've distilled over time, and
we try. We do our very best. We're in process.
Right. We live these. We're still applying these strategies for living every day.
Yeah. Not saying we're perfect by any means. But
they've already changed our lives, and so
absolutely,
I hope they change yours, and I'm grateful to our listeners and to the process, and how it's changed me already.
And again, we want you to co-author it with us.
Absolutely.
Once you get a copy of it, and you begin to do the exercises, you begin to do the journal prompts, they become yours. You become an author too.
Absolutely.
10 Truths That Will Change Your Life, available on Amazon.com, or go to strategiesforliving.com or strategiesforlivingradio.com. Thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate you being with us each and every day, and we appreciate our sponsors making it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Learning RX, and the Balanced Life Wellness Center, and Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, alligator Italian sausage, and some pretty good muffies too. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillian, I'm David McMillian. See you next time, right here on Strategies for Living.